We're here with the head of the Jewish agency, Mr. Natan Sharansky, who will conduct this interview in English for his request. Hello, Mr. Sharansky.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. A lot of people we're trying to distance between the link of young Jews and Israel, and maybe that's our way to fight our bad reputation. And I was very happy to hear that you have a different opinion. I'd like for you maybe to tell it to our listeners.
Sometimes you hear from one Jewish student that for him as a Jew, it's better to live in the world where Israel doesn't exist, for example. From others, not such extreme statement that, of course, we love Israel, but we know that if we'll start supporting publicly Israel, we will be not popular, that it will influence on our relation with the professors. And suddenly you see how they are afraid to speak. And then you see these ideologies on both sides who say that if we really want to strengthen their Jewish pride, their Jewish identity, we have to stop connecting them to Israel. We should stop speaking about being pro-Israel, but speaking about being pro-peace, being for progress, and so on. And all this, of course, is nonsense. So what we find out in the last few years, that Jews of diaspora who felt that they have to help Israel now start feeling that Israel can help them to survive Jewishly.
You're saying that strategically we cannot, we can't do a difference between Zionism and Judaism and Zionism towards the world.
Today, diaspora discovered that Israel is not such a poor relative, first of all. We are a startup nation. But what's more important, that they need Israel for strengthening the identity of their kids.
And could you feel maybe a difference between that and maybe Jews in Europe or Jews that didn't go to birthright, that you try to talk to them about issues?
The real issue is whether this only democracy in the Middle East has the right to exist. And what really gives a lot of pride to Jews, when they discover for themselves the power of this democracy, the uniqueness of this society.
Because today in Israel, a lot of, I'm going to say this, a lot of politicians and certain parties have hijacked Judaism and made it something that we're easy to say we're against, and then we go and we see Jews around the world and we feel much better about ourselves.
Well, I have to say, I have no less critical words to say about our secular parties who decided to abandon Jewish identity, who decided that the questions of religion, of relations between state and religion are really not important. What's important for them, a peace process from the left and the right. And that's something, as to religion, as to Jewish identity, we can leave it to religious parties. As a result, we have almost new nation of Israelis without any Jewish roots. And this nation of Israelis without Jewish roots has no inner strength. And in fact, when these Israelis rediscover their Jewish roots, they become also much more proud Israelis. That's why I do believe that exactly as for Jews of diaspora, it's important to meet with Israel. For Jews of Israel, it's important to meet with diaspora and to discover what it is to be Jewish. Just in these days when millions of Arabs go to the streets and demand to end their dictatorship. They want to be like Israel. So if they demand it, we definitely have to see them as our allies and not these dictators.
Well, I know you're a very busy man, Mr. Sharansky, so we're going to let you go. And just, I'm very happy that there's something that Democrats and Republicans in the States can agree on, and that's your importance. And thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.